All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome today to nexWeb3 presentation. My name is Peter Gantner. I'm one of the founders, and I'll be presenting to you today. So let's get this started.
Shh. The wealthy have a secret.
Keep it secret. Keep it safe. Did you know that some of the biggest companies in the world are buying and/or positioning themselves into Web3?
Well, welcome, guys. And I have a question for you to get this thing kicked off. And that is, do you currently use the internet? And of course, every one of us should be saying, well, Peter, of course, that's a silly question. Just about everybody on the planet does. And you are correct. 5.3 billion people are currently using the internet. And they actually fall into three different categories. The vast majority, meaning probably 4 billion plus people, simply use it for shopping, entertainment, sending emails, social media, those type of things. A smaller percentage use it what we call the gig economy. This are people that are actually using it to make money on the internet. Of that smaller percentage, a very small percentage are making a full-time living. The majority of those people are making maybe a little bit of extra money. Maybe they're selling on eBay, making a few $100 or $1,000 a month, or Etsy, or they're doing, using one of the pet sitting services, or maybe they're driving Uber, those type of things. And then there are the very, very small percent, the 1%ers or less, and that is the founders, executives, and wealthy investors. The people that were able to have the resources or the ideas to get involved in the internet to make this work. So,
for many of us, terms like Web 1 or Web 2 might sound alien. Believe me, I was once in that camp too. Let's break it down. Web 1.0, often termed the static web. Web 1.0 represents the internet's infancy. It was a budding global network that introduced the world to the wonders of digital communication and information sharing. In this phase, a handful of pioneers created content and designed rudimentary web pages for a larger audience. Web 2.0. Enter the social web. This iteration is all about interactivity. Platforms thrived on user-generated content, and users became both consumers and producers. The internet became a space of collaboration driven by enhanced connectivity and dynamic communication channels. But here's a stark reality. The Web 2.0 era, while democratizing content creation, concentrated wealth. The majority of financial gains went into the pockets of the platform founders, top-tier executives, and elite investors. Over 320 individuals amassed a combined wealth exceeding $2 trillion. The broader populace? We mostly reap the benefits of the innovative products and services these giants introduced.
So think about it, guys. 320 plus people have accumulated over $2 trillion from what is called Web 2. And to be honest with you, when we started this, I didn't even know there was a Web 1, right? I just thought there was the web. But then through the last few years, I realized that Web 3 is coming. But that gave me the ability to look and say, what is Web 2? Okay, what happened there? So, of course, we have the 1%ers at the top. Web 2, how were they able to accumulate so much wealth? It's because the web, the secret is that it was centralized. And behind this centralization gave these companies the ability to collect and monetize our data in an incredible way. And most of us think, oh, my data is not worth that much. You would be amazed at how much your data is worth and how the vast majority of the wealth that has been created is not selling you widgets, but off of them reselling your data over and over again to the people who are selling you widgets or trying to sell you other products and services. So in the Web 2 space, the vast majority, 5.3 billion users, have simply benefited from the products and services that have been developed. Here is something that's super incredible. Over the last 2 years, 2/3 of all the new wealth that have been created has all gone to the top 1%. I want that to sink in, guys. 2/3 of the wealth that has been created has gone to a very small percentage of the people in this world. Do you think them getting filthy rich off of our data is fair? Is there a better way for it to happen? And there is.
So, what sets Web3 apart? Why label it as the people's web? Web3 heralds an era of democratized value creation and distribution. It's a transformative shift where the internet doesn't just offer services, it compensates you for your participation. It promises a more equitable digital ecosystem. Welcome to a revolutionized paradigm, the participatory economy. Web3, truly the web of the people. Web3 is the internet owned by the builders and users, orchestrated with tokens. When ownership is decentralized, users can own a piece of the internet using tokens.
So think about, instead of the Web 2 model with such a small percentage of people making money, imagine you being able to get involved in Web 3. And here's the thing is, there's nothing stopping us except for fear and the lack of knowledge and the guidance for people to get into Web 3. A matter of fact, Web 3 has already created over 75,000 millionaires through crypto, and just lots of other people that have hundreds of thousands of dollars in digital assets that are at their disposal because they've engaged in Web 3. But guess what? It is just the beginning. So what makes Web 3 the people's secret? Decentralization. A decentralized model that says privilege, being the 1%er, does not give you an advantage over everyday people. A matter of fact, in a decentralized web, you, me, us, the people, have the advantage. We have the ability to control the narrative when it comes to that. And one of the reasons why is we begin to control and own our own data. And when it is monetized, or if it is monetized, some of us don't want our data monetized at all. Well, guess what? In the Web 2, as this develops out over the next few years, you can say, I don't want my data monetized, and it will not be monetized. If you do want it to be monetized, though, you can get a piece, a percentage of that money given back to you on that side. And yes, in Web 3, the 1% are still there. People will still found projects. They'll still find some early seed money from maybe investors. And of course, they're going to have executives that are going to help run the company. The difference is in this model is the other model, Web 2 model, 80% of the money went to the small percentage of it, right? And a smaller, much smaller percentage went to the masses. This reverses it. The masses, the early adopters, the users of Web 3 are the ones that are driving the value proposition. They're the biggest contributors. And so in this case, they are getting the most money. And that's why we call it the people's secret.
Is Web3 the most monumental wealth transfer in human history? In the realm of Web3, the paradigm shifts from corporations profiting exclusively from our data to a more equitable model where we, the users, share in the prosperity. So, our mission is to guide everyone into the Web3 universe, ensuring confidence and competence regardless of tech background. We blend premier education, community engagement, and strategic alliances to make Web3 accessible to all. Our platform, with personalized support and in-depth training, emphasizes that Web3 is not just for the tech elite, but for anyone eager to transform their financial journey.
So have you ever thought, if I could only be in the right place at the right time, and of course know the right people, right? How could my life be different? Well, with nexWeb3, that is exactly where you're at. You are with the right people at the right time with the right movement, Web3. So nexWeb3 is the easiest way for you to get involved with the third wave of the internet. We teach you how to be involved in Web3. We have the right connections, innovative Web3 partnerships. We're going to talk about some of those as we move through the presentation. The knowledge and the tools, the tech stack. We have the developers, the people that are building Web3 that know what is going on. They're very well connected. They're on the cutting edge of it. The community and support. The secrets of Web3 and Web3 Elite Investment Club. So how do you get involved? How did we say, okay, so we looked at this and said, we want to get people into Web3. We want to help be drivers and builders of the Web3 space. What is the simplest and easiest way for us to do that? And we, through Web3, of course, we started to collect and get what are called NFTs, non-fungible tokens. Now, don't worry about the definition. You don't have to understand it at this point. Essentially, what they are is digital collectibles that are tracked on a blockchain so that you can tell this is a real, it's an original without ever having to ask. You don't have to believe somebody that it's the real one. You can go on chain and you can look and tell that it's real from that side of it. Now, the vast majority of NFTs are just collectible artwork or game assets. Maybe a pair of clothing or something, a strength or something within a game, or like the Museum of Modern Art just purchased 2 art NFTs to put in their permanent collection. However, what we said is let's not just make artwork. Let's turn these into utilities. Because of the technology behind NFTs, it allows for functionality. It allows for them to create value outside of just being collectibles. Also, it is the most phenomenal reward program on the planet. Utilizing NFTs for reward programs allows for things like transferring your rewards from you to somebody else because they're attached to these NFTs. So incredible technology that we've decided to use. So what are the cost of Abigamis? $50 up to $1,400. Every Abigami comes with blockchain collectible artwork, so rarity there, software and education, ownership in the DAO. A DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization, the absolute best form of capitalism on the planet. You get voting rights in that DAO. You get rewards from being part of that DAO. You get to participate and have access to, and when we talk about participate, what are you participating in? Web3 projects. What do you have access to? People in Web3 that are able to give you information that can help you improve your life with digital assets in this space of Web3, plus entertainment, fun, all kinds of other things like that. The collectability is that because there's rarity, somebody else may say, hey, I want one of those, and you have the only one of that, so I'd like to get that from you, right? Creating a market for it. Affiliate programs. We've attached an affiliate program for it, so if you help us go out and share and build the community, you can create now money, and we'll talk about that at the end of the presentation. We'll go through what that looks like. And then, of course, the Web3 Elite Investment Club. Every Abigami. Now, the higher the Abigami, the more rewards. The more rare the artwork is. The more ownership in the DAO. The more voting rights that you receive. So how do you get involved with it? What are we talking about doing here? Are we talking about learning new skills? Are we talking about something that you should be fearful of? And my answer is absolutely not. A matter of fact, most of the things that will be done in Web3, you're already doing in Web2. All you're doing is shifting it from companies that say, we need to keep all the money and make all the money, to companies that are like, hey, we understand that you are valuable and that we want to provide value back to you in the form of digital assets. So it's things like simply engaging on social media, following, liking, commenting on projects, helping them grow their social media channels just by simply putting a post on your wall. Play to earn. Imagine playing a game and not paying $80, $90 for the game and then, of course, beating it and then eventually buying another game, but playing a game that will actually put money back in your pocket in the form of digital assets. And those digital assets are attached to the game. So as the popularity of the game explodes, your assets have the potential to go up in value that you did while you're playing to earn. So imagine, I'll give you an example. Let's say you played a game and you earned $10 in game assets. And then that digital asset 5 or 10x's. Well, now you don't have $10 anymore. You have $50 or $100 in assets on that game. Being a customer by simply using software. Imagine if Amazon would have been in Web3. They are not in Web3 at this point, right? But imagine if they were and you were an early customer and you had some books delivered to your house when they were just doing books, or you got involved with them when they were doing auctions, or maybe you're a seller on there. And every time you sold, you got some form of digital asset. By being that customer or working in on a B2B basis or B2C basis, you accumulated digital assets. What would that be worth today if it followed the success and the value of an Amazon? Grow digital wealth with a community by combining with a community. So people, individuals have so much value on the internet, and in Web3, they're able to extract that value. But I want you to think about combining that with a community, others, leveraging and working together in a collaborative fashion to increase the amount of digital wealth that each person is worth. So in a community setting, we are worth more as a whole than we are as individuals. Decentralized social media. So many of us are just frustrated with social media channels that we believe the people on those social media channels should control. In Web3, decentralized social media, the people on the platform will control the platform and help move it in the direction that they see fit to move it in. Metaverse. I'm going to show you some statistics here in a minute on the metaverse that are absolutely going to blow you away, because I know some of you, and I was one of these people a few years ago, that said, I don't think I'll ever do anything in the metaverse. I cannot wait for it to take place. And that's what nexWeb3. nexWeb3 is going to make it easy, simple for you to understand all of this stuff that we're talking about, including participate to earn, airdrops. Some of you going, airdrops, what's that? I'm going to explain that to you. Benefits from an AI crypto trading bot that is helping people today grow their digital assets. So do you want to earn from the third wave of the internet is my next question here. And if you do, then we have the tools, we have the people, we have the education, we have the help that you need to earn from the next wave of the internet. The first we're going to talk about is our AI trading bot. Set it up and let it trade for you 24/7, 7 days a week. This will trade on a decentralized exchange, PancakeSwap, and it'll continue to create. The idea is start with X amount of digital assets and have this trade for you each and every single day. Some people are getting 6, 8, 10, 12, 15 trades a day using this system in order to help build their digital wealth. So then when the market takes off and the digital wealth starts to go up in value, they're able to get a multiplier on their results. Education. Education is key, but this is not the kind of education where we're going to teach you some worthless information or information that you might use here and there on a daily basis. The education that we focus on is education to help you build and increase the amount of digital assets that you have going into Web3. It's things that you can do within and participate within Web3 to then accelerate your digital wealth. So we have one-on-one support. So if you say, hey, I'm watching some videos here and there, I'm not getting it. We have Zoom calls where you can get one-on-one, face-to-face with a Web3 expert, and they're going to help walk you through and help you with whatever you need on a one-on-one basis. Web3 education. We have a starter course, which will be launching here in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Then we have a mid-level course, which will come shortly after that, and then an advanced course. These are Web3 courses. They're not going to just teach you about Web3. Here's a definition and here's what it is. It's going to show you, here's a definition, here's what it is, and here's where you go to participate in it, and here's how you go participate in it to earn digital assets. Advanced trading classes. Some of us are out there going, hey, I just want to set up a bot like Insights, NSI, and I want it to just trade for me. I don't want to really have to deal with it too much. But there's other people that say, I want to become a master trader. I want to learn how to trade digital assets myself. We have those classes available. Now, when you purchase an Avigami, whether it's $50 or up to $1,400, this is where you will use those funds, depending on, say, $50. You have $50 to spend on education, $50 you could spend on the training, $50 that you could spend wherever you want in the system for that. So that's one of the values of an Avigami. Let's talk about airdrops. I had mentioned it earlier as one of the things that we're going to teach you through our education system, as well as a value that is there. Airdrops are where a project says, okay, we're creating this company and we are going to need people to use our product. So in order to incentivize our people to get involved in the project, what we're going to do is promise them for coming on, liking, sharing, commenting, doing transactions, doing different things. We're going to give you a digital asset for doing that. Now, these are 3 real examples. These are not, fictional. These are real. There's a chain called Aptos. Aptos said to the people, hey, we're going to give away 80% of all the digital assets that we create that are backing this project. And all you need to do is come on and do some transactions. You could do something on our test net, which is free to do and operate. You just need to know how to do it. nexWeb3 will teach you these things. And then you go to the main net, the launch of their project, the functional product. And if you would have used any of their people that are building on their chain, trade, swap on their chain from one digital asset to another, and I don't want to get too complex here, they would have given you a digital airdrop of a digital asset. That airdrop today would be worth $1,320. You could take that, sell that in a marketplace, transfer that to fiat, and send it directly to your banking account, and you would have $1,320. Blur, an NFT marketplace. So it's a place where you would go buy NFTs. You could have went on there and bought a few NFTs for pennies or maybe dollars, $2, $3, $4, $5. And by doing those transactions, and then they have a piece of software on there for you to create your own NFTs. Very easy to do. I used it. It took me about 2 minutes to create my first NFT. Just by doing those and then putting it in the marketplace up for sale, didn't have to sell it, just put it up for sale, you would have earned today $800 in digital assets that can be converted to fiat. Uniswap, one of the first decentralized exchanges. They said if you just simply come and buy or sell crypto on our decentralized exchange, maybe provide liquidity, so put some funds in to back the projects, we would give you an airdrop. That airdrop was for 600 Uniswap tokens. Today, that is valued at over $1,725. So if you would have just participated in these 3 airdrops, right now you would have $3,845 in crypto. And through a third party, you could sell that and transfer it out for probably, who knows, $30, $40 in fees and have over $3,800 in your banking account today. And you would have spent maybe $50, $60, $70 to do the entire thing in maybe 30 to 45 minutes of your time. This is incredible. And these are not the only ones. There are hundreds and eventually thousands of projects out there that will be doing airdrops. nexWeb3 is going to help guide you to the best projects in that area. So let's talk about the metaverse. Fusion GPS, a Citibank owned company, did a report on the metaverse about 2 years ago. And they went and did a whole bunch of research, and they found that by 2030, there will be 5 billion people. So the majority of all online people by 2030 will be using some form of the metaverse. They'll be tied to it. This idea, this concept of Web3. They said the addressable market could be as much as $8 to $13 trillion. So wait a minute, there's an $8 to $13 trillion industry or mechanism that's being built. I thought to myself, I need to be involved in that. We need to be part of that. And if this is done through Web3, then, and it's decentralized, then the vast majority of that $8 to $13 trillion would go where? To the users, to the people that are every day going on the metaverse and using it. Think about being able to help lead people to that and be part of it. So we said we need the absolute best metaverse partner that we could work with in the entire industry. And we went out and found Otherverse. Otherverse is the most experienced and just an incredible project to work with. Otherverse, though, is not a metaverse because of the Xeon browser, the first Web3 browser. It is an ecosystem where eventually, I would say, 1 million metaverses will all be built on the software and the technology, and then they will all be tied together in a revenue sharing model that will allow for wealth to be created, to tap in to that $8 to $13 trillion. We have a very special partnership with them, and we're working with them to help them bring that forward. We also have the Web3 Elite Investment Club. It's an investment. It's a group of investment clubs that is an add-on to the DAO platform. So when you receive an Avagami, as we said earlier, this Avagami gives you ownership in the DAO. It also gives you an additional membership into a Web3 investment club where you'll be able to participate in Web3 projects in the early stages. So I don't want you to think about being at the back of the line, a CF offer or a company when it's going public, once it's already gone through all that. This is putting you at the front of the line in the early development stages of the incredible projects. And how is the DAO? The DAO has partners. These partners are companies like TokenSoft, Muon, of course, Otherverse, and then, of course, the Web3 DAO creating its own projects from the creative, collective that is the DAO, that is DAOs as a whole, the creative collective, utilizing cutting edge technology in order to make that happen. TokenSoft, I'll point out, is a token launching platform. That's what they do. They've launched over 100 projects on their platform, creating over $18 billion in digital wealth on those projects. They're going to be saying, hey, DAO, here's a great project that we're working to bring that token to the marketplace. Would you guys like to get involved with this in an early stage? So that's how the investment club will find projects to then get early in and benefit from Web3. So the 3 easy steps to digital wealth: just simply select an Avagami. Could be a $50 one, could be a $500, could be a $1,400 one. That's up to you to decide on the value that's created there from it. But just select your Avagami, mint that Avagami, and that just means purchase it. And then you activate it. You'll decide what utilities you want to use. You'll decide if you want education. You'll decide if you want cryptocurrency trading. You'll decide if you want to do something in Otherverse, because there's some memberships there that you could use those funds for. So let's say you bought a $500 Avagami. You could use $200 to get a VIP membership in Otherverse. It's a year membership. It comes with digital tokens. It's a very cool, lots of different benefits and things within the within Otherverse, within the metaverse. You could say, hey, I want to buy 6 months of NSI. Digi is the company that produced it, right? Of NSI, or trading software that will trade and increase. So you can do that. And then just simply engage with the community. Right now, we're engaging through social media, but very soon, the first part of next year, we will be engaging in the metaverse. We are building a massive yacht right in the harbor of the main area within Otherverse. And that'll be a yacht that you must have an Avagami to be able to enter onto. It's where we'll have meetings. It's where we'll have space for you, all the members of the clubs, to go and learn about new projects. After learning about this incredible wealth opportunity, can you envision sharing this with others who might also be interested? I hope that the answer to this is yes. Web3 is the web of the people. That means we need everybody to know about Web3. Now, the media companies are not sharing Web3 with the world, guys. It's when we started this, we said, shh, they have a secret. They want to keep it quiet as long as they possibly can. Why? Because the longer they keep it quiet, the more that they can invest, the more they can build, and the bigger piece of it they can keep for themselves. So our mission is to share this with the world and get as many people as we can involved in Web3 as soon as we possibly can. That's why we made it so inexpensive. We're not talking about buying an Avigami a month. You may only buy one Avigami in your entire lifetime, and it's going to give you access to all the stuff that we talked about. Absolutely incredible. So I'm going to stop here. We're going to open it up for some questions, and we'll talk a little bit about some of the stuff that's going on in Web3. And then we'll come back and we'll go very quickly through the compensation plan. It's probably about a 4 or 5 minute walkthrough of how you can make now money. So what we've talked about is building digital assets and moving towards this inevitable boom of Web3. It actually becoming bigger. Right now, Web2 is giant. Web3 is pretty small. But eventually, Web3 will encompass or overshadow Web2. And taking action now is what is going to determine whether you are benefiting from that just by using it, like we are the web today, and maybe making a little bit of money, right? Because Web3 allows for participants to get rewarded with digital assets. Or do you join a community, nexWeb3, that then has the expertise that spends every day figuring this stuff out and learning about it so you can benefit from it in a much bigger digital financial way? So is Digibot active now, or when is it coming online? John, it is up and running right now. So Insights Decentralized Trader is up and running, and it is kicking butt right now as we speak. It is probably doing trades for people 24/7, 7 days a week. So that is already active. So the two things that we have active right now that you can use with nexWeb3 is the one-on-one training and Insights. And then the trading programs are training, the education in Web3 and in crypto are coming in the next few weeks. And then, of course, Otherverse is available right now to purchase the VIP and UVIP packages. That'll give you access to it in early January when it launches. We've been doing quite a few meetings with different groups on Otherverse. And the meeting we had yesterday, group of about 5 guys, it was absolutely incredible how excited entertainment industry is getting about the idea, the concept of Web3. Do you have any news on how we can help from the UK? My Insights has been on fire this week. All right. Matthew is doing well with Insights. So Matthew, our attorney, is checking to see if you guys can get involved in it. One of the things that he said that we could do, and it would be, of course, is if we did not run the affiliate marketing side and just had it where people could purchase the NFTs in the UK. And did not pay anybody in the UK, basically allowing them to go in and purchase it and disabling the commissions. I would hate to have to do that, but he is looking into it, and hopefully here in the next few days he'll have an answer back for us on it. He's got to look at the rules of it, and he's a U.S. attorney, so he's trying to decipher and come up with where it's at right now in the UK and where it's going. But guys, think about this. Something that's beneficial that you want to do, and people are saying, no, you can't do it, and you can't participate. That is so maddening and frustrating to me when it comes to that. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't realize I have my camera off. It is maddening to me that that's the world that we live in at this point, where they're trying to hold us back. This is exactly what I was talking about earlier, trying to hold us back from participating in Web3 because they don't want it to take off in the way that it should or could, and benefit the average everyday person. Sadly enough, most of our officials out there are working for the 1%. They're not working for the people that are out there, working every single day to build it and move it forward, because we don't have lobbyists, right? We don't have people that are, at the country club nudging them. So anyway, I don't want to get, too far down that rabbit hole, but Web3 is such an incredible space. I had mentioned during the presentation, the Museum of Modern Art has literally said, hey, we're going to buy some NFTs. One of the NFTs that was sold for $69 million was sold at Christie's auction, the premier auction house out there. NASDAQ, deep into blockchain. Larry Fink, the head of BlackRock, $9 trillion plus, almost $10 trillion under management, has said that all assets are going to be tokenized. So if you know anybody who owns stocks, bonds, real estate, guess what? They're going to be in Web3 anyway very soon. Over the next few years, all of those assets will be tokenized. Why are they being tokenized? Not just for the heck of it. They're being tokenized because this is a process. It's a technology that is better than the way that it's done right now. Having a paper ledger that somebody can go in and manipulate or change or lose or put the wrong information in when they're typing it. On blockchains, eliminate this stuff. So we're not just talking about something that people will go to because it's like, oh, this is the cool thing. Web3 sounds kind of cool. We're talking about people moving into it because it's a better form. It actually works better for the people. It works better for everybody that's involved, except right now, if the people do what we need to do, which is get this out there, for the 1%ers. The 1%ers will have to give or share, not give, share some of that wealth with the rest of us. And that's what I believe they're trying to avoid right now, right? So that's our mission. That's why I'm on my soapbox right now saying we need to get involved. We need to be a part of Web3. So let's jump right back in, guys, and we'll go through the comp plan very quickly. And we're going to actually put together a document for this that we'll have out pretty soon here. So we have a simple affiliate plan, guys. 2 levels, 15% on the first level. Anybody who you share this with that mints an Abigami that says, look, what are they doing? I'm minting $1,000 Abigami. What am I going to do? I'm going to have $1,000 that I can spend on tools, technology, and stuff that will get me into Web3 that I can earn digital assets doing. Okay. So that means spending $1,000 on this stuff and getting back more, right? Okay. It's going to give them access into the DAO, ownership in the DAO. They're going to get to go to meetings. They're going to get to go to things. Right now, people are spending hundreds, maybe even $1,000 to go to a conference on a weekend. Imagine just that one-time $1,000 that you already got in utility being spent and allowing you to go to those conferences and be a part of it. Oh, by the way, you're going to get years in an investment club that's going to bring projects to you that you can get involved with early at an early stage in the project, before most people are able to get involved with it, the masses. So what does that mean? The potential is huge, okay? As well as you have a collectible piece of artwork that may go up in value, right? You have all of these benefits that are right. Oh, by the way, occasionally you're going to get some rewards as well. Maybe a gas card, maybe a movie ticket, maybe a who knows what, right? A new iPhone, a vacation. I don't know what those are going to be. That will really be up to the DAO members to decide, and how effective we are in building out projects and getting involved with them. But let's say you shared it with 5, 6, 8, 10 people. 4 of them said, yeah, I want to mint an Abigami. One mints a 500, one mints 1,000, one mints a 200, one mints a 1,400. With this 15%, you would receive $465. Now, I'm going to tell you, you're going to receive this $465 at the fastest pace of any payment system in the world. And a matter of fact, I'm going to show you right now how fast, when we talk about nearly instant pay, you're going to see right now, this is a live, real example of our payment system being paid because of blockchain, I want you guys to think, why is Web3 going to be so dominant? Because it gets people paid this quickly by utilizing the technology that is behind Web3, the idea of blockchain, smart contracts. This doesn't take a person to do this. This is all done automatically right away. So let's see how fast you get paid. So this is a second level, $50 Avagami being paid. So it's 10%. We're going to talk about the second level in a second. And it's going to show you how $5. So you see the balance there, $439.99. Watch this. Transaction started.
Work it, make it, do it, make sense. Harder, better, faster.
How fast it is to get paid. Matter of fact, if you blinked, if you sneezed, you probably missed that transaction, right? But you saw the balance go from $439. Add $5. This is not manipulated video, guys. These were running at the same time, and we were able to capture a mint and a payment done automatically. So let's talk about the second level, 10%. Anybody you recommend that goes out and starts sharing this. And I got to tell you guys, as we develop, as we move this thing forward, eventually this will become so easy to share that people that have never shared anything before will be having tremendous success. And the reason why is they're going to realize that Web3 is the answer. It is a better form of the internet, and it is the form that belongs and is controlled by the people themselves, right? Let's say you go out and you shared it with 4 people. 3 of them say, I'm sharing this with my friends and family. I'm not going to let my mom, I'm not going to let my dad, I'm not going to let my sister, my brother, my cousin, my friend. I'm not going to let them miss out on the third wave of the internet. And nexWeb3 is that on-ramp to it. They go out and they start sharing it with people. Some might share it with 10 or 12, 15 people, and 4 of them get in. Some may only share it with 4 or 5 and 2 get in. One person may share it with 3 or 4, 6 people, and 3 get in. In this example, all of those people will get the 15% on the people that they recommended. You'll get a 10% override paid with the same system. We're going to go backwards here for a second. I want to show you again how fast you're going to get paid.
Work is over. Work it,
Done.
make it, do it, make sense.
Payment in the wallet now.
Harder, better.
Think about it. You need to pay a bill, and you go share this with somebody, and they mint a $1,400 Avagami. Frontline to you, $210, just about instantly put in your wallet moving forward. Or it's like, I got to pay a bill. Hopefully, I'm glad I shared this with a dozen people that are now minted Avagamis, because today, 3 of them went out and had somebody mint an Avagami. Boom, now I have hundreds of dollars in my wallet that I can use for that. But not only can you use these funds to pay bills now, I want you to think about this. Imagine earning these commissions in your wallet in digital assets, and then being able to take those and put them in NSI and have NSI trade for you, insights, trade for you on a daily basis and start growing those digital assets. Imagine utilizing it to put through one of the investment clubs. Oh, I need some money for, oh, great, I got some money sitting right here. Let me put it into a project and have it go 2, 5, 10, 20x, right? And growing these. So taking it, earning the commissions, and then being able to grow those commissions by utilizing the system, the tools, the education that nexWeb3, the work, the help, the hold your hand and walk you through the process of Web3 and being able to help you increase that. So very simple to get involved, guys. We have 4 leadership bonuses on top of the 2-level affiliate program. One is the 4% pool, return on the total value you create. Create 100,000 in volume through at least 2 personally enrolled Avagami sales of Avagamis. 50-50 between the 2 of those. 100K, you're going to get 1 point in this pool. It's 4% of the total sales volume of all Avagamis over a quarter period of time, and that is split up by the number of points that are in the pool. Add another 150 to that, so get a total accumulative of 250. It's 2 points. You can go up to $1 million in accumulative. It's 10 points at the $1 million. You'll need to have, I think, 3 or 4 personally enrolled Avagami people that have purchased Avagamis. I'll give you a great example. Total Avagamis, 6 million in sales quarter, 4% is $240,000 with 49 points in this pool. Okay. And I did the math on it to see if we did 6 million in volume, about what it would be. So this is hypothetical, but it'd be about 49 points in the pool, $4,898 per point. Let's say that month you hit the $1 million in accumulative volume. You would receive a check in this hypothetical scenario of almost $50,000 paid via smart contract right into your wallet. And what could you do with that? Cash some out, put some back into the, into other Web3 projects, get Insights trading it for you. Oh my goodness, just so many options and incredible things, right? Avagami sales. So we have 3 other 2% pools. The first one is on the sales volume of an Avagami. Let's say I go out and have 10 people join, all decide to come in at the $1,000 level. That's 10,000 in volume. If that puts me in the top 25 producers in that given month, calendar month, then I will get points in this pool and get a percentage of this 2% revenue. Of course, if I'm the number 1, I'm going to get a bigger percentage of that than the number 25. Again, this has the potential to create hundreds, even thousands of dollars a month in commissions for people, all paid through smart contracts. So, all right, Avagami sold pool. So now let's say I sold the 10, all at 1,400, but somebody else sold 40 of them. They sold some 50s, some 200s, some 500s. Guess what? They're ahead of me in this pool. The top people in this pool will share in 2% of the total Avagami sales for the 30-day period of time. Again, could be who knows how much, depending on what the sales are. I would say that, like, say in that month that there was, $3 million sold, that's $60,000. This pool would have, I believe it's 90 points in it or whatever. So that would be about $1,000 a point. So the number 1 person would get like a $10,000 or $15,000 bonus check in that scenario. We'll get some hypotheticals put on here so you guys can see that. And of course, we'll have the document out here very soon. And then there's one more. And this one was put in there because in the past, in my life, I've built some networks. And I've had people that have brought me into these networks that really could never find another builder that would go build for them. And so I would be making decent money in it, and they would be making very little. So what we did is we said, look, these other 3 pools are going to be tremendous. So why don't we do this? If somebody brought me in and I went out and performed and I earned points in the ROVC pool, the first pool, the 4% pool, and then I earned some points that month into the sales pool or the sales quantity, sales dollars and quantity pools, the person who recommended me to this program would get a matching point in this pool. So let's say they brought me in and I go earn 21 points in between all the pools in that given period of time. In that quarter, because this runs this quarter to quarter, just like the first pool does, and the monthly ones build up. So let's say I have 21, I brought somebody in there and 21 points. I get 21 points in this pool. That is 2% of the total sales volume of all Avagami sales over that entire quarter. So in the first scenario, we had 240 at 4%. So this would be a $120,000 pool. Let's say there's a few hundred points, 300 points in this pool. It would be like $400 per point that I had. I brought somebody in that earned 21 in the other ones. I would get an $8,000 bonus in that hypothetical scenario. So guys, ready to join nexWeb3 and catch your share of the third wave of the internet wealth? Get back with the nexWeb3 community member that shared this with you and mint your Avagami today. We have one question in the Q&A. I'm going to stop sharing so you guys can see me there on the screen. Let's answer the question. It's true seconds. Yes, Sarah. Sarah has been getting some commissions because she's been out sharing this with people. And it is very quick, guys, for these funds to be in it. And because it's the technology. This technology for Web3 is so incredible That is why it is going to dominate. It's why it's not, well, maybe Web3 will become bigger than Web2. No, it is absolutely, positively, for sure that Web3 will dominate over Web2. My question is what piece of that will you get? And there's other ways for you to be involved, but I truly believe that nexWeb3 is the easiest, the simplest, the fastest, the best way to get involved and be a part of Web3. Thank you for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you on the yacht, in Otherverse, or in some of the other things that we'll be doing here in 2024. There's a couple events that are happening. One is the acceptance of BlackRock and many others to an ETF that will be Bitcoin and Ethereum. BlackRock has applied for an Ethereum ETF and a Bitcoin ETF. And then in April of this year, there's an event called the halving. I'm not going to get into the definition of what it is, but there's been 3 halvings before this. Each time after those halvings, within a short period of time, there's been what's called a bull market in the crypto, in the digital asset space. And each time it has created tremendous wealth for the people that have the knowledge, that are in the right place at the right time, that are in the right projects, that have bonded with a community of people, right? Because there are small niche communities that exist in the crypto space, and they work together for the common good of everybody in that group, and they're the ones that are winning the most. nexWeb3 is your community that you can be a part of, that you can join for as little as $50 and have your community so you can benefit from this next bull run that's going to happen in the Web3 space. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you soon.